Hello everybody, this is Brandon with expeditiousfool.com, putting mindfulness in motion. And today I want to talk about a particular word that a lot of people don't know the meaning of. And then on top of that, they don't realize that that's really the reason they feel unfulfilled in life. So what's that word? That word is Dharma. So what is Dharma? Dharma means your sacred path, what you have to offer, your sacred duty, more specifically. And this can be, individual, it can be group, etc. But essentially, it's your sacred duty. Now, I say a lot of people live unfulfilled because they don't know about this. What does that mean? Well, a lot of people don't realize that that's the only reason you're here. Each individual person has an authentic expression, their energy expression, that is supposed to come to fruition in this lifetime. If it does, if they activate it by doing the proper steps to become self-aware, as well as develop the ojas, the vitality, to be able to pull off whatever said sacred duty, and then have the faith to stick to it regardless of the distractions around them, right? That is the purpose of life. You can debate it. A lot of people have for thousands and thousands of years. You can say I'm wrong. You can. But ultimately, when you want to feel fulfilled, when you want your anxieties to drop, when you want your depression to drop, when you want all of these things, when you've tried everything else, like I have, folks, when you try everything else, then you're going to come to this realization, or you'll pass on unhappy on your last days, as most do, and then when you come back, you'll have it all over to do again. So we have a sacred duty, and we have to remain focused and not distracted when we do that. That is our Dharma. My Dharma is spreading mindfulness to everyone. I use tarot to do so. I use my teaching techniques to do so. I use social media to get that message out in all kinds of ways. Any tool, any access that I can get, I use. I use multiple different versions of mindfulness. I'm certified in many different forms of breathwork, pranayama, and to teach in those, I'm certified in many different meditations. I'm a meditation teacher 10 times over, certified, right? Yoga, I'm certified in many different forms of yoga. Why? Because that's my Dharma, that's my dedication. My dedication, my spiritual work on this plane is to bring that to people, to show them that they are truly limitless, that they have the ability to achieve anything they want. They just have to realize what they're supposed to do first. And the only way we can realize that is through our daily mindfulness practice, breathwork, meditation, yoga. Qigong works as well. That's not one I'm versed in, but that works as well, where we're moving the body and the breath, because that develops self-awareness. By paying attention to the breath, by paying attention to these moments of stillness, we become more self-aware. Our bodies become more sensitive. We tap into intelligence, which is way up there. It's the human collective versus our brain, knowledge. And once we tap into that intelligence, that's what gives us the creativity. That's what gives us the abilities to achieve the things that others seem are impossible. My business has been running full-time for over a year now. There's a lot of people that said it couldn't be done. If you would have asked me 5 years that I would be on this path and full force making my whole living doing this, I would have said you're crazy. But here I am, every single day. And the reason why I have joy, even when bad things happen, is because I know that no matter what, I am dedicated to my Dharma. I am dedicated to the spiritual work that I am put here, my spiritual duty that I am put here to do. Therefore, every one of my actions becomes not an action of self, but an action of service, which gives me serotonin for all you science-minded folks out there. If you want to know how it works, that's how it works. Why does giving help? Because that's how we gain serotonin. That's actually one of the only ways the body gets serotonin. So that's a lasting happy chemical. Anybody that takes any breathwork sessions with me, yoga sessions like that, I go in depth with the physiology of the body as far as explaining the science, explaining the chemicals, explaining how we keep ourselves happy, how we balance our nervous system. It's very, very scientific. And that's what I'm telling you. Your dharma, your spiritual duty, is a requirement. It's very scientific. Just like managing the chemicals in your body, balancing your nervous system. And yes, 90+% of the population are not doing that, which is why they will and do live mediocre lives. They will continue to do so, and they will continue to not put in the work. And that is a choice. But as long as you choose that, know that the spiritual path you've been following, if it hasn't been working out for you, it's because you've missed off your daily practice, or you don't have one, or your spiritual path doesn't express the importance of following your breath, meditation, and yoga, stretching that body out. Because every place you feel tightness, that's resistance to your dharma. That's resistance to your spiritual duty. That's resistance to accepting God. That's you not surrendering to your dharma, your spiritual duty. People wonder why their health fails unexpectedly. It fails because you're wasting the body. It's here for one purpose. And if your main focus isn't finding out what that purpose is and looking inward, and instead it's focused on distraction, you're committing suicide in increments. Anxiety, depression, it's suicide in increments. You're never going to live if you don't follow your path. So that's my encouragement to you. Start your daily mindfulness practice, breathwork, yoga, meditation, every day. If you need help, there's Google, there's YouTube, there's me. I'm here to teach that. I teach virtually, I teach in person. I don't mind giving advice throughout my DMs for free. Now, I don't do tarot for free because that's an agreement I made, because my energy has to be rewarded. With my lessons and things like that, as far as that goes, similar situation. There is a cost for those. Why? Because this is what I do full time. So in order for me to be fully dedicated to my dharma, my spiritual duty, in this society as of right now, I have to do that. But by all means, if you feel called to me as a teacher, I'm more than happy. Contact me. But regardless of who you choose as your instructor, your teacher, or none, if you choose to be self-realized like I have done, that's fine as well. And that's excellent. But make sure that you're doing your work every single day, because your dharma, your spiritual duty, is the only key to your fulfillment. It's the only key to being happy, removing your anxiety, your depression. Everything else will be a distraction. And yes, people may argue, they may disagree, but just like every single thing I say, I don't expect anybody to believe what I say. I expect you to explore what I say. I expect you to experiment. Now, if you say you don't believe me and you haven't tried this, well, then that's just operating from a position of lack of knowledge. That's okay. But the pain does build up, and that's why we have suffering in the world. That way everybody eventually comes to doing their spiritual duty, their dharma. All right, everybody. I wish you the best of luck out there. Please let me know if there's any way that I can help. Have the best time out there helping everybody and following your dharma. Stay mindful.